Welcome to the University of Canberra and to this public lecture tonight. Thank you all for coming out on a cold Canberra night. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Frances Shannon. I'm the Acting Vice-Chancellor of the University of Canberra at the moment. And I would like to start by acknowledging the Ngunnawal people, the traditional owners of the land on which the University of Canberra is situated and on which we are meeting tonight. I wish to acknowledge and respect their culture and their contribution to the life of the city and the region. And I would like to acknowledge and welcome any Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people who are here today attending this event. I would like to welcome particularly Dr. Sarah Ryan, our Deputy Chancellor, and Ms. Sue Salthouse, who is a member of our council as well. Professor Graham Durant, Director of Questacon, Mr. Jacob White, who is a former president of the University of Canberra Student Association and now current advisor to Andrew Leigh MP, Mr. Andrew Smith, Chief Planner for the National Capital Authority, Ms. Meg Brighton, Deputy Director General, ACT Education Directorate, and Damien Haas from the Belconnen Community Council. Welcome to all of you. Welcome to colleagues from the university. Welcome to colleagues from government and from our local community. Many of you will be aware of the plans of the University of Canberra for the development of its 120-hectare campus here in Bruce. The vision for the development of this campus for the future was captured last year by our former Vice-Chancellor, Professor Stephen Parker, in a document, and many of you will have seen the accompanying quite amusing video that went with that entitled The Educated Life. And I'll just quote from The Educated Life for a moment, which says, by 2030, the UC campus will be a leading example of how a modern world-class university transformed its physical surroundings to create an integrated learning community where scholars, students, and the public intermingle. Organizations from nearby and around the world collaborate with the university, creating new knowledge, providing work-integrated learning opportunities for students, and developing solutions to real and important problems, and where the generations mix from childhood years to senior years in a common commitment to lifelong learning. The development of the campus requires a very integrated and collaborative approach so that, and I quote again, a single and enriched campus community emerges from all of this activity. The campus needs to be integrated, innovative, sustainable, creative, collaborative, diverse. It needs to break down the walls with the community around us and beyond, and to become a truly integrated set of activities here on campus. The opportunity to do this has been facilitated by significant legislative change enacted by the ACT government, and we thank both the officials and the political leaders for facilitating this over the last number of years. We also thank people internally in the university who have spent a lot of hours making this happen. And we trust that these changes and the resulting developments that will be allowed here now will make a significant difference not only to the university but to the Canberra economy and community in the years to come. Development has already started in earnest, as many of you will know. Some of you may already be using the Health Hub for GP or other health services, or the Sporting Commons for access to gym and other sporting activities. These are both excellent examples of mixed-use buildings where we have external service providers and other organizations occupying spaces and collaborating with our academics and our students. Others of you may drive past the building site on the northwest corner of the campus where the new UC Public Hospital is being built. This hospital will be a state-of-the-art subacute hospital with UC academics and students working alongside and collaborating with ACT Health Service delivery staff. And we hope that in this health precinct, we will not only have health service delivery, but we will also have new health businesses and technologies which will either grow out of the university or be attracted to come and locate alongside of these activities. And the model of collaboration has already commenced with a number of our building and construction students working with Brookfield Multiplex, the builder of the hospital, as cadets on the building site. A few months ago, we signed an agreement with CIC Peat for the development of a campus community, which, when finally completed, will comprise about 3,300 dwellings. So we already also have a lot of businesses and other organizations located on campus. I counted more than a dozen recently, and this doesn't include retail activity. This includes other types of activity, service delivery, research organizations, and so on. So we want to break down those barriers further, encourage more organizations to locate onto campus so that we generate an integrated campus, which is a campus of the future and is integrated with the city and its surrounds. The burgeoning significance of areas of innovation or innovation districts, these are areas of economic, social, and community development, and they are now being recognized as very important around the world for economic development in cities. In March of this year, the Chief Minister, Mr. Andrew Barr, launched Canberra, a statement of ambition when he addressed the Canberra Business Chamber. And I'll quote from that statement because I think it's very relevant to the discussion we're going to have tonight. It says, "Innovation has a geography. It is no longer an ex-urban garage or low-density business park accessed only by car. Canberra is finding that global talent in the knowledge economy is coming together around locations that encourage interactions and the sharing of ideas. High-density, mixed-use, walkable areas with jobs and research activities well connected by public transport to homes, services and lifestyle options are at the heart of the success of innovation districts. A Canberra without such districts will fall behind in the competition for talent and investment." So we want the University of Canberra campus to be at the heart of Canberra's first innovation district. And to achieve this, we are engaging with the ACT government, with the startup community and economy, with established businesses, and with our neighbours here in Bruce and beyond. We have the opportunity to consider certain clusters of activity here because of the type of university we are and because of the Canberra context. And we can talk about those more later if anybody is interested. We are beginning on this very exciting and long journey, but we have a lot to think about, we have a lot of planning to do, and we have a lot of doing to do before this dream really becomes a reality. In order to help us think through these challenges and these issues, we are engaging with international experts. And tonight we have one of the international experts in innovation districts here with us. I'm very pleased to introduce Dr. Joseph Piquet. I hope I got that slightly right. Joseph is from Barcelona, is a telecommunications engineer by background. He's an international expert, as I said, on innovation districts. He is currently the president-elect of the International Association of Science Parks and Areas of Innovation. Josep has a long professional experience in university management, leading postgraduate programs, technology transfer centres, university incubators, and innovation science and technology parks. In the field of public administration, he was the CEO of the highly successful innovation district known as 22 at Barcelona. He was the Director of Strategic Sectors for the Agency of Local Government, Barcelona Activa, and CEO of the Office of Economic Growth of the Barcelona City Council. So great experience both in academia and also in public administration. He has published papers on innovation ecosystems and has participated in a wide range of international forums across Europe, the Americas, and Asia. He's an advisor now to a number of cities and governments around the world on innovation districts and is passionate about the promotion of knowledge-based economies and societies, knowledge cities and smart cities. I would like to welcome Joseph. Thank you very much for coming here. And I would like to ask him now to come and deliver his lecture, which is entitled Innovation Districts and UC Campus Development, a Nexus of Opportunity. Thank you.
As the 19th century drew to a close, a small town, Sant Martí de Provençals, joined the city of Barcelona and became part of the Poblenou area of the city. This was the area 22A, but was popularly known as the Catalan Manchester because for over 100 years it was the economic motor of the country and the most important industrial area in the city. That golden age came to a close at the start of the 60s. The factories moved to other parts of the city and the buildings were left empty to crumble and decay slowly. Over time, a district that had once been so important to the city became isolated. However, with the arrival of the Olympic Games, tons of renovations began. The last section of Diagonal was open in 2000, And with it came the final push. Barcelona City Council approved the project to transform the 22A area, bring it up to date with the rest of the city, and welcome the new millennium. And that is how, 10 years ago,
an innovative district open to all is born. The 22 at, where before there were only factories, now business, training and research centres, housing, public spaces, commerce and professionals in advanced sectors live side by side, responding to the needs of a young, enterprising information society. Business activities share the space with a wide range of housing, services and commerce, which improves the standard of living of the inhabitants and workers. The urban landscape is changing significantly. Prestigious international architects and new values in architecture have led to the design of buildings which have become icons for the city. At the same time, the Project 22 at Barcelona conserves, renovates and makes use of the industrial heritage of the area. Infrastructure has also been brought up to date in order to satisfy the needs of today's society and the most demanding quality and sustainability criteria. This series of transformations has led to new companies from near and far, universities and student housing, technology transfer centres and R&D platforms setting up their home here since the year 2000. 22 at Barcelona is clearly focused towards administration, university and business, along with 5 strategic sectors for the present and future of the city, with the objective of creating synergies to increase competitiveness and positioning in these sectors and help the job market to create, grow and consolidate. A sustainable space for the interchange of ideas, productivity and improvements in the quality of life and work has been created. And so, with the objective of consolidating Barcelona's position as an entrepreneurial, creative and innovative city in mind, it has launched 22 at Urban Lab, which turns the district into an urban laboratory in which companies can experiment with the latest technology. And this is why our district has become a model for exportation into other areas of the city, or other countries for that matter. 22 at is the innovation district in Barcelona and works around the clock to fulfill the dream with which it was born.
The opportunity to be here today with you and also for sharing my experience in Barcelona. It was yesterday that I arrived on Canberra, but it seemed like a week or a month because really I had, I don't know if you work as I work here, but I had a lot of meetings and I am very happy. The goal today is to share our experience and to share our experience in Barcelona, developing a new district of innovation, and to understand how can we apply this experience in your project in the University of Canberra. Because at the end of the day, you have the same vision. You want to develop a district of innovation, an area of innovation. You want to take advantage of the knowledge, of the talent, of the technology of your university. But we, after 15 years in the district, we were learning a lot how to develop a new area of innovation. And the reason why I will put the QR here is because if you want to download the presentation, there is a link also with papers that you can download. But in any case, don't worry, at the end of the presentation also, I will put this link or I will resend to you. It means that behind this presentation, there are several papers and also a book about 22 at and some videos and reference. My talk today will start with the idea behind 22 at, because we are now in a university and I would like to take advantage to share with you some theories about ecosystems of innovation and how can we take advantage of the theories in order to develop practical things. And the first one is, and today we had the opportunity to visit the ACT and also the city, is about the new revolution that we have now knocking our doors. We know that during the last years, we put all our content in the cloud. Our information is in Dropbox, the videos in YouTube, and whatever we can digitalize is in the cloud. In the second revolution that we're just living, we see how the social networks are digital, and we have all our relations in Facebook, Twitter, and so on. But more than that, we have a change in the relation between companies and customers, and cities and citizens, and government and e-government. At the end of the day, the dialogue between the digital tools, between the digital person and the organizations take advantage of the digital tools. But really what is now knocking the door in a clear way is Internet of Things. It means, and this is a very important thing, is that all will be connected to the cloud, all. And all means everything. And it means that if we cannot put the things in the cloud, we will not control, we will not manage, we will not share, we will not do what we can do in a digital transformation. But when you put this idea in the city, it means that we have a wonderful opportunity to transform cities in smart cities. And smart cities means the opportunity to think and rethink how we deliver mobility, water, energy, waste, but also how can we deliver information to the citizens. And when we were starting to think about 22@, we were thinking, okay, let's go to put some technologies, but when you look at the mobility system, I ask always my students, what is the best mobility system? Perhaps the TGV, the high-speed train, or the no mobility. Is when you are living and working in the same place. It means that you don't need any kind of mobility system. Your walk and or biking is the way to be wherever you want in a very fast way. And this is a message about that the smart city is not just to put technology in the cities, it's to rethink the cities, about the role of the city as a platform for working and living. And if you work and live in a very close place, like here in the university, it means that you don't waste time in commuting, and you really can take advantage of all your time doing incredible things. But also it's about energy. It's how can we really take advantage of the new sources of energy. I know that you are applying a lot for the clean energy. And the best source of energy is the no energy, the energy that we are not using. It means that if we design buildings that are using a lot of energy, we will pay this bill during all the life of the building. It means that we have also to rethink about the use of the energy, about the circular economy, about the waste, about the water, how can we use and reuse. But the more interesting thing in cities is how can we understand the relation between city and citizens? Because at the end of the day, the citizen now is a smart citizen, and he or she has in his hands or her hands a very good interaction. More than that, the smart citizen is the more sophisticated sensor that we have in the city. And they are expecting the citizens to get data to make decisions, and they are providing data to the rest of the citizens. Today we had a very good chat with the ACT talking about the open government and how the open government means transparency, means open data, and also means participation. It's really interesting how really we can transform cities. At the end of the day, in this slide, this is the first message. The city is a goal of innovation. It's an object of innovation. And you have here a city, Canberra, that can take advantage of the knowledge of the University of Canberra to apply all your knowledge in order to make innovation cities. The second message is about the city as a platform of knowledge-based economy. We know a lot about the industrial economy, and we see how in the past the companies were near the sources of the energy, near the rivers, near the mines for the raw material, or near the logistics in the port or the airport. Now in the knowledge-based economy, we need another kind of knowledge infrastructures, are not the same. And one of the key players in the knowledge infrastructures is the university, because the university is providing one of the key elements that the triple helix needs: education, research, and knowledge to use. I know that the University of Canberra is doing a wonderful job in education, also in research, but the challenge is how can we impact in the economy and the society with this talent and technology. Talent coming from education, technology coming from the research, and combining both in order to transform the different sectors. This is the challenge of the governance of the innovation, because at the end of the day, you have a triple helix that is with not the different agenda, but they have, in the case of the government, the mandate agenda every 4 years in front of the citizens for voting. The industry is every day selling, every month paying salaries, and every year paying shareholders. It means that they have to go very fast to the market. And the university is a long-term business institution. And the unique way to combine the three elements is that anything that you do must be with the same vision, must be in the direction and the same vision. And perhaps that's the challenge of the project of the University of Canberra in relation with the government and the industries. What do you imagine of the University in Canberra in 10 years' time, in 20 years' time? Because you will never know, or you will never be nothing that you can imagine. It means that the imagination, at the end of the day, reimagine your future, is the way that you can really understand that if we share the vision, we can really work in this direction altogether. If we have a different future in our mind, everyone, we will create 100 Canberras. So I don't know how many people, but in any case, a lot of Canberras. And we need one Canberra. But this is not about Canberra. It's about Barcelona and any city. Is that the challenge is the governance and the vision of this kind of projects. That's the reason why Henry Edskowitz, the father of the Triple Helix, is talking about the hybrid organizations. How can you put together in the same table people that are sharing the process of creating the vision and also developing the projects in order to fulfill the challenges. Also, nowadays, and some of the persons that is here in the room was designing the urban planning of the city time ago when you were 100,000 people. Now you're 400,000. It means that you're growing. Nowadays, we know that there is a change in the role of the cities in the economy. This century will be about cities. The last century was about nations. And will be about cities because at the end of the day, cities are the real platform of the talent, the real raw material of the knowledge-based economy. And the cities are the platform because can provide a place for working and living. And you will see that's the real secret of 22@, a place where the people can work and live. And in the case of the approach, you will see that the cities must play a key role as a global platform for global citizens. And this is perhaps the big change that the cities has to make, because at the end of the day, the cities until now were very happy cleaning the streets. The more sophisticated cities, they were developing shopping, and the more sophisticated, they were developing a strategy of tourism. But when you jump to the knowledge-based economy, this is another framework. And knowledge-based economy means that you must be a platform for global talent, for global businesses. The good news is that you have all the elements. The University of Canberra is playing a key role as a university, creating new science, because the scientific model is creating new science, since new science means global science, global knowledge. And when you write a paper, you take advantage of the papers of the world, and you write a paper in front of the global community. It means that the science is global. In terms of technology, you have to be sure that any technology can really scale, can really go to any other market. And nowadays, we have technologies like internet, like mobile, GSM or UMTS, that you can really do any innovation here and you can scale it any place in the world. In terms of industry, we know that we must be global. But it means that the big companies can be global, but also the startups. And you will see a new animal in the ecosystem that will be the born global companies that will start here and will sell the first week to the world. And this is a change in the way of helping startups to be global in the process to growth. But from my point of view, the more interesting thing also is about the demand side. We can put a lot of science, a lot of technology, a lot of companies, but if we can stimulate and we can take advantage of this square, the square of the local market as a first mile of the global market. Local market as a first mile for learning local in order to compete global. It means that we have to find in this campus the more sophisticated market to allow the entrepreneurs, allow the researchers, allow the students to develop pilots, to develop things that can be applied to the hospital, but after that they can be applied to all the hospitals of the world, or can be applied to the sports center, and after that can be applied and scale to the rest of the sports centers of the world. And this is when you are fulfilling your ecosystem because the demand side, the sophisticated demand, is inside your ecosystem. And that's perhaps one of the big lessons that we had, and you will see how Barcelona was developing of the concept of 22@ Urban Lab. But this is about you. But also, let me tell you about the big corporations. Believe me that they are afraid of the situation. The big corporation, as you know, the big corporations, they do very well what they did last year and a little more better, with increasing the sales, reducing the cost, and increasing more or less the budget, the profit. But they cannot do disruptive innovation. And this is a mindset of the big corporations. They know that they cannot do disruptive innovation, but they need a new deal flow of innovation coming from startups. And this is something that we were also discovering, how Cisco, Microsoft, and IBM, they are looking for new applications. They don't know, they don't want to find again WhatsApps or Googles that they are growing around them, and they don't manage this situation. They need to be in connection with the new deal flow of innovation. A new deal flow of innovation is coming from new startups, from young people with new technology that are changing the rules of the games, changing the business model, changing the way of the monetization. How can you get money from a value proposition? And also very fast in terms of the process of innovation. When I was writing my last book about areas of innovation, in the chapter about clusters of innovation, Professor Jerry Engel from Berkeley told me, Joseph, this is we were writing and we had a Skype call, and he told me, Joseph, this is about speed. Speed, not Jerry, this is about innovation. No, this is about speed. It's about time. If you can really pass in 10 weeks from the idea to a prototype, from an idea to prototype, it means that you are really creating value with speed. And speed means that the ecosystem has to provide the key elements in order to run. And this is perhaps also one of the key roles of the ecosystems of innovation. How can you find all the elements that you need in order to put your idea in practice? Your idea in front of a customer, a real customer, a golden reference. Your idea with the feasibility of the product or project that you can put in front of a reality. And this is as soon as you can, and with the model that Jerry is developing about the Lean Startup model and the ICORPS with the National Arts Foundation, in 10 weeks, the students, they have to pass from the idea to a prototype, and they have to do 100 interviews in order to double check that the idea is really connected with the reality. And open innovation means that if the big corporations, they want to learn, they want to know what is happening, they will be here listening, for sure, what you are doing in the campus. It means that your competitive advantage is to be in a clear global world, telling to the big corporations that you are ready to provide the new solutions, the new innovations. And this is nice to see that this is, the concept of the open innovation, and Henry Chesbrook was analyzed in the Palo Alto Research Center, where Xerox was developing incredible things. For instance, they were developing Windows. They were developing the mouse. But as Xerox was making copies, photocopies, they were not using mouse, because mouse is not for photocopies, for carbon copies. And they were not using the Windows. It means they were losing the opportunity to use this technology to other markets. But on the other hand, you have the opportunity to take advantage of some external technology to apply it to your own market. At the end of the day, open innovation means to open the door of the innovation of the big corporations. And they know that the department of the innovation of the big corporations is the world. It's a change in the rule. It's the world. But the same department of Microsoft, the world, is the same department of IBM, the world. And they are competing, and believe me, they are competing for the deal flow of innovation. They are trying to find what's next. And they know that they have wonderful technologies, but sometimes what they do is to put their own technology in hands of the entrepreneurs in order to develop new applications. For instance, Microsoft developing kinetics for the interaction, human-computer interaction in gaming. Now they are allowing and giving this technology for health applications. It means that the technology and talent is a good mix That could be your own technology or the technology of companies with the talent of your university. It's a good, very, very good mix. But open innovation is a message in order to understand that we can really take advantage of the big corporations and say, hello, I am here, the University of Canberra, and Canberra ready for helping you with our students, with our 15,000 of students. Imagine 15,000 companies, startups will be incredible. You will change the world. But this is a big message. And also, because the ecosystem means about to connect the best of the big corporations with the best of the new corporations. And we were learning that you have to create companies that are trying to solve the challenge of the big corporations. At the end of the day, the path to growth is that this day zero, you know what is your exit plan. If not, it's better not to help the entrepreneurs. Because if not, they will try to find, they will have, for sure, a solution, and they will try to find who has this problem. But this is another game. The game is you have to find the challenge, and you have to solve this challenge. And for the 4 phases, the first one is about inception, launching, growth, and maturity. You need to create in your ecosystem, in one hand, in the track of technology, from technology to product. This is about the feasibility. From product to production, this is about manufacturing. It's not one copy, it's 1,000 copies, all equal with the same quality. This is about growth. This is about to deliver to all the world that your product is arriving at China or whatever. And in the maturity is the exit plan, the adoption for a big corporation. In terms of talent, it's how can you combine the best talent, local and international. When you look at Silicon Valley and they say, how the people from Silicon Valley is always thinking in a global perspective, because they are global, because they are mixing Japanese, Chinese, Indian, European, and American. And the inception is global because the team is global. And the team is global, and the team is also with diversity of mixing engineering, business, and design. It means mixing different disciplines. And this is perhaps one of the lessons of the hybridization of the teams. In my university, we have now, in the last course of all the studies, we have the entrepreneurship education, one course, and we mix the different students in order to be in front of people different like you. Because innovation is hybridization, but hybridization means that people are with you in your team, helping you to think in a different way. Also, finance means the opportunity to find the smart money. And this is not about donors. This is about investors. And this is a new role also of the alumni of the university. Why not the alumni of the University of Canberra could be investors of the students? Why not they are investing the money and the experience in the new startups? Because when you have, if your alumni is now a director or president of a company with high reputation and also with high experience, with a wonderful agenda, it's perfect for a startup that they have an incredible idea, but they don't know anybody. And nobody trusts in this person. And this is when you combine the best of the experience with the best of the energy of the new startups. And that's the reason why we were promoting a lot of business angels networks or university networks. Business angels network or university angels. University angels means people that is around the university. At the end of the day, you can put $10,000, $50,000, but if you put together and syndicate 4 or 5 investors and you put $100,000 in a project, this is not only about the money. It's about the second and third round. It's about the venture capital firms that they know that somebody working in a big company was investing in your company as a startup. This is the way to reduce risk, but also to increase the value of the company. This is about business angels, venture capital, but also about corporate venturing. And believe me that 15 years ago, when we were starting 22@, it was very difficult to find money, to find finance for the startups. But nowadays, we have companies like Telefonica, like Indra, that they have what they say corporate venturing. They are buying companies. The big corporations are buying new startups. And this is a new approach. We have a lot of money in the economy ready to invest in the newer startups. But it means that you have to be sure that you find the connection with these people, that will be very happy to invest when they will be ready, the new startups. But also it's about the location. Location means where the companies can start up in the campus, in the co-working space, in the physical incubator, when they are 5, 10, in the more growth space, in a space like a big incubator or your office. What it means is that in the campus you have to provide the space to growth, and space to growth until when they will be very big, that they will be in other locations. But also, one of the lessons that we discovered was the role of the university and the role of the public administration also, finding the first customer. The first customer is the golden reference, is the customer that is not only, perhaps the customer is not paying, but is allowing to check the feasibility of the product and the feasibility of the value proposition. And this is something that this is for free. And the university is really creating the connection between the customers and also the entrepreneurs. At the end of the day, the evolution means that we have in this journey the first customer, the market traction means a lot of people in the country, and this is the validation of the scalability. It's not about to have 1,000 customers in Australia. It's to have 100 here, 100 in China, 100 in Europe, and 100 in America. This is a different value of the company because you can really show that you can scale this solution. Also, another thing that we're learning is about smart specialization. We had with Victor a big debate about what means smart specialization. It means at the end of the day, what sectors are you choosing, taking advantage of the opportunities and taking advantage of your assets. And it could be health, it could be sport. You have incredible institutions around the campus. But also, it's not only about sectors, it's about technologies. It's IT, it's genomics or biotechnology, it's about materials, because if you have an agenda of a matrix with sectors and technologies, the same technology, big data, can be applied to health, big data with genomics, or big data with smart cities, or big data to other sectors. It means it's a matrix of sectors and technology that is the real agenda of innovation of the smart specialization. Smart specialization at the end of the day means that the campus must have a clear and comprehensive strategy of sectors, because it will help you to attract companies and innovation centers to host them here, because they will look for an ecosystem of innovation around your sectors. This slide is coming from Silicon Valley, and perhaps you will read and you will find the research university. This is an ecology of innovation, ecosystem of innovation, entrepreneurs, angels, venture capital firms, and you will find that Tapan is including the concept of good food, wine, and coffee. Tapan is an Indian guy living in Silicon Valley. It means that, but he, in this case, the wine is better here. The wine, well, Napa Valley is good, but here is a good wine. You have a good wine. But what Tapan is sharing with us is the idea of quality of life, because this is about talent, not only from 9 to 5. It's a talent 360 degrees. It's a talent 24 hours, 7 days. It's a talent with the family, with the couple, with the children. And this is when we have the challenge to attract people, not only the talent in terms of research or the talent in terms of working. And this is perhaps one of the challenges that you have now in the campus. How can you enjoy, how can you put more lively, how can you put more entertainment, more amenities, more things to develop new activities that are fulfilling the 24 hours, I don't know, 24 hours. You know that in Spain we work and live 24 hours. But in any case, it's about what you can really find and you can really offer also from the university perspective. And one of the ideas that we had this morning, think about that, is that the creative industry, the cultural industry must be in the campus. This is not just because you can deliver amenities and cultural assets and cultural outputs. It's also because the creative industry is a very good stimulation for the rest of the sectors. We were mixing 22@ artists with technologies, with scientifics, because as you know, a new art is coming from a new science. With a new science, with big data, you can visualize things that you could not do with another technologies. If you have the opportunity to visit Montreal, they are developing now a district of innovation. The name is Quartier de l'Innovation. And the Cirque du Soleil is developing incredible things because the creative class there, they are doing the performance in the way of the interaction between the audience and the actors. And there is plenty of room, plenty of opportunity in the entertainment and amenities. And that's the question. Who is your city? And why you choose to come to Canberra? Or why you choose to remain or to be here and not to fly to other cities? And this is about attraction, but also this is about retention. And believe me that analyzing the data that the team of the University of Canberra was sharing with me, you are attracting talent from the world. You are doing an incredible job. You are doing the most difficult thing to attract people. But if you don't work in the process of retention, perhaps it's like the water or the air that you cannot really invite them to be here, or you cannot really offer them the possibility to be more and more connected with your community. And that's perhaps, this is not your problem. It's a problem of the city, it's a problem, or it's a challenge. And that's when you start to offer a value proposition for working and living. That's the secret of 22@. I feel that that will be the secret of the University of Canberra developing the district of innovation or the area of innovation. How can you offer this 24-hour proposal value proposition? But also, the last message about talent is about, about the creation. And this is also perhaps is an European approach in front of the American approach. A person that now, the children that now are living in the Silicon Valley, they will never work in Google. The system is not about social elevator. It's not creating an educational system that they help the people to grow. Because the system is about the flight class, only the flight class. People that is going to Berkeley, is going to Stanford, and after that they go to the Valley. This is a big decision about your city. If you want to create an inclusive growth, it means to involve the children, to make, I was listening to the work that you're doing with STEAM, stimulating the people to be engineered, to study, to growth in your ecosystem. Okay, after this framework, I'm so sorry, it's a very theoretical framework, but in any case, you will see a practical application of that. And first, how many of you visit Barcelona in the last 5 years? Okay. We have plenty of room, plenty of opportunity for the rest of the people. And I invite you to visit Barcelona. But in any case, let me connect you and let me fly, if you want. Let's go to Barcelona. Do you know Barcelona is in the Mediterranean Sea? It's a Roman city. It means 2,000 years ago was starting. And believe me, in 2,000 years ago time, in 2,000 years time, will be Barcelona. I don't know if it's Spain, Europe, or Catalonia, but Barcelona will be there. This is a question mark about the role of the nations, but in any case, let me come back here to the role of the cities. And the city of Barcelona, you will find in Barcelona the Roman city, the Middle Age city, the 19th century, and now we're creating the 21st century city. And this part of the city was designed 150 years ago, as a urban planner, Cerdà was designing the big Barcelona, connecting the middle-aged city with the small towns around the city, Gracias, Sarrià, and so on. And if you were walking in Barcelona 100 years ago, you saw this kind of image that you saw also in the video. Incredible Catalan Manchester, they say industrial economy, textile, high pollution, big machines, not a lot of people working. And at the end of the 16th, 70s, you saw this kind of image. And it's a different starting point like you. You have a greenfield transformation. We had a brownfield transformation. But you always start with a starting point. And it's good to know where you're coming from in order to understand how can you transform it, how can you take advantage of this, in this case, big problem. Big problem, because we had an economical problem, but also we had a social problem. And the decision of the mayor of the city was, after the Olympics, that we were cleaning the the beach, and also we were cleaning the river, the decision of the city was to transform these 200 hectares of the city in a knowledge-based district. Knowledge-based district instead of the industrial district. Industrial district was in the past. Now the knowledge-based district is about talent. It means that we had to develop this district not only for working, also for living. And you will see that in the model, we were designing, starting from the urban strategy, from the smart city strategy. Smart city means the hard factors. How can we develop the economical dimension and the social dimension? Big lesson, holistic approach. It's not only urban dimension, it's not only economical dimension, it's not only social dimension, it's all together. And as I was coming from the university, I had to write a paper about that. And I was writing a meta model of 22@. You have in the link, and you see that it's a problem of 16 blocks problem. I am an engineer, I need to find models. If not, I am not comfortable. And the first one was about the smart city. Smart city is the dimension of the hard factors. It's about urban planning. You were doing urban planning during a long period. Urban planning means what's the role of the place and what uses you will do with every single place. If you are working there and you are living there and the mall is there, you will need commuting, you will need cars. If you are mixing the city, you have another city. It means that the smart city has to think about the rest of the elements that will be upon this. Our management of the infrastructure, management means lawyers, but at the end of the day, how can you use the land? Also the infrastructures. The infrastructures means we were developing a smart city 15 years ago, but it means that smart city in this case was an infrastructures plan. I will develop later. And construction. Construction means the buildings. I recommend, and I told to the team of the University of Canberra that your business are not the buildings. Your business is the knowledge. And I feel that we have some experience in Barcelona to invite real estate developers to invest in the campus and to have a win-win relation between the buildings that they develop and the uses that you can have for your buildings. In terms of knowledge city, it's about cluster strategy. How can we connect science and technology with companies and market? More than that, how can we connect the market with the companies, with the technology and the science? It means with the demand side. How can we put the hospitals as a reference? How can we put the sports centers or the smart city? Why not you create the innovation center of the city of Canberra? And you have all the innovations of the new city of Canberra here checking before to scale to the rest of the city. This is important because it means a cluster strategy, and you have to choose. This is about choosing. It's not about all the sectors, it's about what sectors and also what technologies. And about promotion, or about companies, you have to combine both sides. The big corporation, remember the role of the innovation centers are the big corporations, and the role of the new corporations. And if you can combine both, will be perfect. First, because your focus is action learning, is project by cases or by reality. It means that if you can allow the students to commute from students to entrepreneurs in no more than 1 minute, and I repeat, in no more than 1 minute, that they can commute from a classroom to the incubator in no more than 1 minute, in the mindset of them, it's not about that they will be entrepreneurs one day. No, no. You must create a company before the end of your studies. Imagine that you ask them to do that. It means that they fulfill what means a company, what means to sell, what means to create a product, what means to understand about a value chain or understand incomes and costs. This is important because promotion means to attract companies to be here, but also to create the new generation of the deal flow of entrepreneurs and innovation in the fields that you want to develop, health, sports, and so on. And also, if you can combine all of that with the management of the talent, of the attraction, retention, but also of the creation. I feel that one of the lessons that we have also of 22@ is that 22@ was opened 24 hours, 7 days, also the weekends. and the children were visiting the district, and they were doing robotics, and they were doing, it means that they were enjoying the infrastructures that we had there. But perhaps during the Sunday morning, it will be for young people, not for the senior people or whatever. In this way, the model of 22@ is a model that we combine the science and the technology as an externality of the economics. It means that how can we put the best science and technology in connection with the economics? We were developing the infrastructures, and we were developing also housing and quality of life. Quality of life means at the end of the day, a place where you can live not only indoor, also outdoor. The Mediterranean Sea is helping us a lot, but in any case, is a good place. This is the classical Rambla that we have, but it's a place where you can mix, because mixing is about collisions, and if you don't mix people, and if everyone is very fine in these buildings, and you don't have common places for interactions, perhaps you're losing the opportunity of serendipity, or the opportunity of these collisions between different people. And also, we were working a lot with the identity, with more than 100 elements of the district, like old chimneys and buildings. About the district is about 4 million square meters, a big transformation, but you have also a big transformation. The scale is more or less the same. We were investing a lot in infrastructures. Infrastructures means common infrastructures, water, energy, mobility, waste, and so on. But really, the city was investing 20 million. The rest were coming from utilities companies and also federal funds or European funds. We were inviting the companies to be in the district because we were allowing the companies to grow with higher buildings, but also we were asking them some land. But in your case, you are really very lucky. You have your land. You don't have to. We were not the owners of the land. We were the owners of the law. It means that we had to create this strategy of attraction, of investment, and the infrastructures were very broad. And what we were learning, it was that we had to be ready for the future, and that's the reason why we create this concept of living lab, the city as a lab. We were inviting the entrepreneurs to test the products in the real life, in real streets with real citizens, and it was very good because it was, in one hand, for the entrepreneurs, the possibility to check the product in front of the customers, but also for the public administration, they had the opportunity to learn what's next in terms of the new applications of innovation in the cities. And believe me that every time that we developed a product or a prototype, we had a new investor coming in the district. Because imagine, I remember this case of the moto, electrical moto, that the entrepreneur only wanted to check this electrical motorcycle with the policeman of the city. Only 2 people, only 2 policemen. But they accepted, and they received 500,000 euros of investment because it was a real pilot in a real city. Look at that. How important is the first customer? How important is to allow this application of the innovation? At the end of the day, and we were talking today also with the ACT about the important thing of to put this in the center of the ecosystem, the challenges of the city, and the citizen needs, but I feel that also you have a big opportunity to be the Department of Innovation of the city of Canberra. Why not? You can really deliver the new services that they need, not now, they will need in the future. This is a best combination of government, of university, and industry, and the demand side. Let me go to the cluster strategy. It's about how can you create clusters, means that how can you combine the best of the different elements. And in order to create clusters, we need to put tractors or big corporations, but also institutions, different kind of public institutions, universities. You have the university, technological centers, and also incubators. At the end of the day, what you are creating is an ecosystem, a physical ecosystem, where the people can really be very close. And you will see in the next slide that this is the Pompeu Fabra University. They have here all the studies about media, journalism, computing, and so on. And here you have the company that is MediaPro. MediaPro is a company of contents, of media contents. The good thing is that they are sharing the labs. the university and the company are sharing the labs. Also, the students can be interns, and they can commute in less than 1 minute and can commute the classroom for a company as interns. But also, the people that is working in the company can be professor and the university as a practitioner. The interaction that you can do is really very, very, very high. And I feel that it's a very good lesson about the urban clusters. How can you put together the different institutions, universities, incubators, and also companies? This is about IT. We were choosing the mobile and IT sector, and also different institutions are working. And let me go to this in order to understand what we were creating. This is an artificial ecology of innovation. This is like when you are cooking rice, or you put all the elements, and you put the water, and you start to cook, and it's running. But it's running, but you put all the elements that you need for cooking. I am sorry, the rice, because I am coming from Spain, you know that we eat paella, but the rice means that you need all the elements. And this is about technological center, this is about the company, this is about housing, this is about small and medium companies, this is about a museum, this is about the university, it's a mix. Here you will find density. Density means interactions. Here you will find complexity, more than one function. More than that, during the day, you can be a professional, and you can be in the lunchtime. You will become a citizen, and you will go to the restaurant, and you will come back to the company. It means that you change. It's like a commuting of profiles during the day, in the same place, and this is very, very interesting. And that's also important because we have incubators, and this is also, in terms of walking distance, is very easy. Also, we have the bicycling, public bicycling is a very interesting model of mobility, and also here we have the metro and the tram that you are planning to be, and it's a very nice ways for the mobility. Energy campus, health campus, it's all about research in genomics, and they are doing a very good work in relation with a hospital. The hospital is the place where they can apply, they can test. And also, we were applying also for the non-technological campus or non-technological cluster that is the design. As you remember, the design center is very interesting. We were inviting the designers to think in a new way how to develop new products. Okay. Let me talk about numbers, because we have a lot of numbers. First, when I put the 1,500 companies are companies, knowledge-based companies that were started after the year 2000 and now are in the district. But if you count the number of companies that you have now, it's about 8,000. Companies of what? Knowledge-based companies and non-knowledge-based companies, service companies, hotels, restaurants, and so on. It means that the knowledge-based economy is moving, and it's helping to develop other economies. And in terms of jobs, you see 44,600 jobs, but if you count the number of jobs, you will find 90,000 jobs. 90,000 jobs working in the district means that you have more people living and working in the district, and 90,000 jobs is that for every knowledge job, I have a service job. This is a very, very interesting. In every cluster, we were developing a strategy of public-private partnership. It means that every cluster has the governance combining the universities, companies, and government. This model of governance means that you are making a constant dialogue. You are making a dialogue with all the agents, because the governance is managing, in one hand, the vision of the cluster, in the other hand, the governance of the cluster, but also the projects of the clusters, with a special methodology that is the theory of clusters of Porter. But it's interesting because at the end of the cluster means that I am in a value chain. I have a research center, I have a customer, I am a company, I have a startup, and we can work together to compete or to collaborate in the world. This is another smart city campus like the media campus, but let me go to the last part of my presentation. This is the social dimension. This is a city for working and living who? The professionals that were arriving to the district. That's the reason why we were learning a lot, because when you are attracting German people, British or French people, they want to speak German, French, or English, and we speak Catalan, and really it's a challenge. And we discovered that we had to provide, and also Japanese, and we had to provide international schools, not just only in the district, in the area, but it was the way to not to forget your identity. We don't want to forget that you are Chinese or you are German. We want to take advantage of you as an ambassador of your diversity and connecting our reality with your diversity. And also for the neighbors, it was very funny because we had a lot of people living before the transformation. And you know, when you don't have this problem here because it's a greenfield transformation, but when you have brownfield transformation, you can have two kinds of problems. First, reactions, I don't want to change. And second, gentrification. You cannot pay the flat, and it means that you have to leave. And we were working two dimensions, the social dimension with the land we were giving to the citizens, this land for housing. It means that we were avoiding the gentrification, but also in order to include, to invite the old people in this process of transformation, we were creating what we said, the digital memory. Every single person had to put, if they want, their memories in the cloud. It was very clear that it was about you, and if you are in the cloud, it means that you are connected with this reality. And we were connecting these old people with teenagers. It means that we were making a very good dialogue with intergenerational dialogue. Two more elements: creativity, cultural factories, allow the people to create new things, to think in a different way, in a parallel thinking. And Cirque du Soleil is working very well, but we were creating special factories for creativity. And this is interesting because in that factories you can mix not only artists with technologies, also artists with businessmen, or artists with, because artists is an incredible people that are thinking always in lateral thinking, and they think in a different way, and they know what it means to create from a white page a piece of art, or from a piece with one instrument, a piece of music. This is something that I believe that we don't have to forget, and this is something that we were working a lot, and you can go to these websites, very, very interesting, the concept of cultural factors. And new technologies like 3D printing. Now Barcelona is rethinking what means productive cities, because until now, we know that we were designing in Barcelona, we were producing in China, and a big ship was bringing the objects to Barcelona again, no? It was good, but very expensive, but you had to buy at minimum 1,000 or 1 million because the cost could be reducing. But now with 3D printing, we can print on demand. We can design something to put in the cloud, to download in other places, and to change the 10% and to customize for us. This is a new way of producing, and this is a new way of consuming. And we are working now a lot on that. We feel that we will have, that with 3D printing changed in printing products in health. For instance, 1 month ago, we had a big meeting on 3D printing where we were printing bones, we were printing earths. It means that you can print health, but the same technology, you can print automotive, you can print cars, and the same technology you can print retail objects, or also other kind of concepts. That's important because 3D printing is a new opportunity. It means your journey to your future will be a large journey. It's 20 years. Believe me, it's not 5 years or 10, it's 20 years, it's large. It means it is beyond you. But you have to develop and to give a legacy to the new generation. And the challenge is how can you create also the governance for delivering the best solution in every moment, and also understanding the new opportunities. And the governance means that if 3D printing was not in the input, don't worry. If you are in the journey and you see that there is an opportunity, you have to put inside the project. Thank you very much.